Hi guys, I'm back with the Dip Powder Mani. So I have on some full coverage nail tips. These are Coffin from Tay, T-A-Y-E, and I have applied them with some new sticky tabs that I found on Amazon. So I'm testing these out. And so I have three colors here from Color My World Dips, and that's Carlsbad Chic, Rendezvous, and Clout. Color My World Dips is a dip powder shop that can be located on Etsy. And I also have Color My World Odorless Dip Liquid System. I have the base coat, activator, which is not low odor, and the low odor or odorless top coat. And so I'm going to go in and use this first color, which is Carlsbad Chic. And I gave the powder a stir. That's this will evenly distribute the color in the jar because they've been in my nail drawer for a little over a year, maybe even 2 years. And so I was like, let me pull my dip powders back out because I got plenty of them and I need to use them. And so just with any with any dip powder application, you want to apply your base dip liquid in a thin, even layer across the nail. And you can either pour over your dip powder, lay your finger flat, or you can dip at a 45-degree angle. I prefer not to dip at a 45-degree angle because I usually end up with some type of ledge on my nail and it gets on my nerves. Now, one thing with odorless dip liquids, they do tend to dry a little bit slower than normal dip liquids. My preference is an odorless or low odor dip liquid system because if I use regular dip liquids, I will develop dip flu. And so with my index finger, I don't know if you picked up on that, but it was still kind of wet. And so if that happens, you just want to re-dip your finger back into the dip powder. That way the dip powder will soak up that dip liquid. And so after I get that first coat on, I'm going in, I brush off excess dip powder, and I'm going in with my second thin coat of dip base. And before I place that brush back into the bottle, I'm going to wipe it off on a lint-free paper towel, or I have a tattoo towel over to the left. And so I'm just repeating that process for a total of 2 dips on my index finger and my thumbnail. And so after I get those 2 nails coated, I'm going in with activator and I'm just going to blot that on the nail. And I didn't want to kind of soak my nail because I am using adhesive tabs to do this application. No, these aren't glued on. They are adhered to my nail again with adhesive tabs, and these are pretty sturdy. I did end up taking these off the next day because I had to work and I needed to type, and I could not type with these long nails. They're not for me. And so I'm going in with the black, which is Clout. And so I'm just repeating that process, applying 2 coats of color to the nail. So after I get those 2 coats of black on the nail, I'm going in with Rendezvous. And Rendezvous is a tip changer. And so it goes from a light pink to kind of like a purplish type shade. And it has foil, I think black foil pieces in there along with hearts. It's really pretty. And I bought this last year and never used it. I can see me doing a whole set with just this color. Now, anytime you have a dip powder with any type of glitter, foil, or chunky glitter, whatever it may be, the first coat I always pour over the nail. You're not going to pick up as many of those foil pieces or glitter pieces, but it's okay. You're going to get more with the second application. And so you can see on my ring finger, I only picked up like 1 or 2 hearts. And then with my middle finger, I do pick up a little bit more hearts. And again, this is a temp changer. That's why the color looks so sheer. But as I mentioned, you want to pour over the first layer of dip powder. Now you can lay your finger flat in both layers, but I think it's going to make your application bulkier than you want it to be. And so I'm just cleaning up the cuticle area or side wall using my cuticle stick. And with glitter, you want to make sure that you use your finger to press the glitter flat on the nail. And so before I go on with that second coat, you see me kind of shaking the cupcake liner, and that's just because I want to pull the glitter pieces up to the top of the dip powder, because again, I don't want to keep putting extra coats of dip powder on the nail. And so I'm going to concentrate my finger in the area that has the most of the glitter pieces, because again, I want to pick that up. And you can see here I have a lot of the hearts that are in that dip powder on the nail. And so I'm just moving those around where I want them to be. I wasn't too pressed on like getting hearts everywhere on the nail. That was good enough. In the event that you want more on the nail, you can individually place hearts on the nail or different glitter pieces, whatever's in your dip powder. And so again, I'm just pressing that down. I move the hearts around, and I'm going to repeat that process on the middle finger. Again, I'm going to shake the the cupcake liner, just to bring those glitter pieces to the top. And then where I place my finger is where in the area that has the most glitter pieces, so that I can pick that up on the nail. And so after I'm satisfied with that application. I thought this dip powder is really pretty. I'm just taking a dot of that dip base, and I have a little heart that kind of flicked off the nail. I'm going in with my nail art tweezers, and I'm just going to place a single heart on the black nail. I could have placed more hearts on the nail if I wanted to, but I didn't. I could have even probably put a layer of that Rendezvous over the black, but I didn't do that either. And so once that dried, I brush off excess, and then I do encapsulate my nails in clear. Now this clear is almost gone. It's like living on his last days. It's on his last days. And so I'm just encapsulating the 3 nails with the glitter in clear. And you do want to encapsulate in clear, because when you go to file and buff, if you don't encapsulate in clear when you file, it's going to remove the top layer of the glitter pieces, and it's going to be silver. You're going to lose your color. So make sure if you use glitter, you encapsulate your dip nails in clear. And so I'm just using a pipette just because, or I could use the spoon or pour it over, whatever works for you. Just because it's not a whole lot in that jar, and there is no way I could lay my finger flat in that clear because it's not a lot left. So after I get all of the nails encapsulated and clear, I gave that time to dry. I'm going in with a toothbrush and I'm just brushing off excess clear from the nail. You want to make sure you brush that off well, because in my last video that had dip powder, I didn't brush off well and it was really grainy and I didn't like that. So brush off as much as I can, to the best of my ability, and I'm going in and I am activating those 3 nails. Activator is what will harden your dip powder or cure it, so to speak, in preparation for fouling and buffing, because you don't want to foul and your dip powder is soft. The activator will harden it. And so I do my fouling and buffing off camera. Here's the finished look. I removed the dust, and now I'm going in with some nail stamping. And so this is a plate from Chic Beauty. It's Love and Marriage, I think it's 03. And so I'm going in just to apply hearts to my index finger and my thumb, because I do not like plain nails. I mean, I could have did okay with just leaving the nails like they were, but I like just a little bit of extraness. And so I'm going in with love, or the word love with the heart outlining it. And so I'm just placing that on the nail. And when you're doing nail stamping, always clean your plate with acetone before you start. And you do need a clear stamper, a scraper card, some type of lint roller, tape, whatever works. I have a sticky pad, and you need some stamping polish, because stamping polish is a thicker viscosity and it's going to allow you to pick up that image. And so I'm going in with the circle, which is made of hearts, and then I didn't want to leave that plain, and so there's a solid heart on the plate, and I'm picking that up, and I'm using the scraper card to remove excess image, and that's where I realized the heart didn't pick up well. And so I'm cleaning my plate off with pure acetone, letting that dry for a hot second, and going in and repeating that so that I can pick up that heart. And it did better the second go round. Stamping may not be perfect the first time around. And so I'm placing that heart in the middle of the heart of circles, or the circle made of hearts, and there we go. So I give that time to dry, and I'm going in with Maniology Smudge Free Top Coat, because here I am going to use dip powder top coat. And so I'm applying that sticky base coat on top of just the image. Then I end up painting the whole nail, because why not? And so I give that time to dry. I give that maybe 5 to 10 minutes to dry, because when you're using dip powder top coat, yes you can, you don't have to use gel unless you want to encapsulate or top coat your nails. The only way to prevent your image from smearing when you're using dip top coat is to apply a smudge free top coat first. Let that dry. And so now I'm going in with activator, and I'm applying activator to all of the nails. Once I finish the thumbnail, I'm going to use a lint free wipe to remove any excess activator that has not dried that fast. So now I'm going in with the Odorless top coat. Now this top coat is living on its last days of life, because it is stringy, it's gooey. I've had it for a while. I typically don't like using dip top coat anymore. I should have just went in and used gel top coat. And so your first layer of top coat, you want to do that in 3 swipes across the length and the width of the nail. I'm wiping my brush off on the towelette there before I place it back into the bottle, because if any activator that's left on the nail that you didn't remove gets into that top coat bottle, it's going to contaminate your top coat. Again, this one is number 1 is low. It's low, so I had to keep tilting my bottle. And then it's kind of stringy, but it still worked. Now the thing with this, the ring finger, middle finger dried well, no problems. It took about maybe 10 to 12 minutes to dry, and that's just because I applied too much top coat. Those dried nice and shiny. However, it took forever for the other 3 nails to dry, and so I did end up off camera applying gel top coat and curing in my lamp. And so coming up is the finished look. I didn't add anything outside of the nail stamping to these nails. So with the finished look, guys, please like this video if you found value. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe to my channel. It is still free 99 in 2025. And so I'll link all of the products or the dip powder products in the description box below. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.